let's see if we can get through the rest of the meeting quickly, since it's really just very randomly benign stuff here. We'll move on to new business. Item A, set oath of office meeting for newly elected council members. That would be, we usually do it the Monday after. Are you guys listening to me? Yes. We usually do it the Monday after, but because they're gonna have to certify, it's gonna have to be 2 weeks from them, which would be the next regularly scheduled council meeting, so we need to set the date for Tuesday, November 12th at 8 p.m.
Oh, so it's next day.
It's okay.
So November 12th is basically what you're gonna motion.
Yeah, so yes, do I have a motion to set the
Support.
motion on the floor from Councilman Soha, I believe had the first one, the support came from Councilman Morrissey. All in favor? Any opposed? The ayes have it. All right, we'll move to new business item B. Cemetery rules and regulations update.
Thank you, Mayor.
Jason,
Thank you,
make
Mayor.
it quick, buddy.
I appreciate it, sir. This item's been going over a couple of years. It predates me to Jake. The current rules and regulations just state for size and location of the grave marker, whether it be raised or flush, shall be determined by the cemetery board. That's, I'd like to clear that up with a lot of the phone calls we get. We don't know what to tell them because there's nothing actually in writing. So the cemetery board, we went back to them, asked for a 48-inch height restriction. Anything over 48-inch can then go back to the board, but that'll help us vet at least 80-90% of the requests in the cemetery.
Awesome.
Being said, I would ask for this to the council to approve this to the new language to set a 48-inch height restriction on grave markers. Any grave markers over 48 inches, 4 foot, will need to come to the cemetery board for approval. Just kind of helps streamline the process.
Support. There we go.
You guys all cool with that? I'm sure the cemetery board will be open if somebody has some sort of reason that.
Absolutely,
they
we
need to
have
go
helped
outside.
3 of them in the last couple of months. It
Awesome.
also kind of depends where they're at the cemetery and what's underneath ground and so forth.
Very good, very good. Motion on the floor from Councilman Sharp, seconded by Councilman Beer. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Don't go anywhere, Jason. Dial and ride. Fleet bus price increase. Item letter C.
Awesome, thank you again, sir. December 18th of last year, the council approved one bus purchase at the cost of $176,724. During this last year, My Eagle has been redoing their contract with our vendor, Hoekstra Transportation. The new bus came in $18,737 over the approved amount. The $18,737 increase is still reimbursed at 100% by state using federal and state funds. This is a formality that I do need because we will pay for the bus first and get reimbursed after payment. With that being said, I do ask the council to help or to approve the $18,737 price increase for one F-550 bus for the total of $195,461 instead of the previous price of $176,724. Again, that is 100% reimbursed.
Sounds great. Any questions for Jason?
I just have one. We were still looking into advertising, weren't we, on the bus? Is that still in progress?
Yes, it is.
Any more questions? Do I have a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Second.
Motion on the floor from Councilman Sharp to approve the $18,737 purchase. Price increase of one Ford F-550 fleet bus. May I have a roll call, City Clerk?
Councilperson Sharp?
Yes.
Soha?
Yes.
Beer?
Yes.
Wolfram?
Yes.
Mayor Stockford?
Yes.
Councilperson Morrissey?
Yes.
Palladino?
Yes.
And Pratt?
Yes.
8-0 approved.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Appreciate it as well. We got no proclamations. We've got one appointment tonight. Kirsten Newland from the EDC. It's not a candidate that I sought out myself, but she came with a unanimous recommendation from the Economic Development Corporation, and I did reach out to Kirsten earlier to just touch base with her. She seems like a very good and nice person, and she works for the hospital, so she's coming on board with EDC as the hospital's representative. Any questions? Councilman Palladino.
I just want to say, I'm
don't know anything about this woman, I am going to oppose it because it wasn't your appointment, though. I don't want the committees refilling their own ranks.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that either, but the whole committee of people, all of them work in favor of her, so
Yeah,
it is what it
No,
is.
it's a process thing for me.
I understand completely. What's that? Yeah, just do a roll call, since Josh just said he is gonna oppose.
Councilperson Soha?
Yes.
Veer?
Yes.
Wolfram?
Yes.
Mayor Stockford?
Yes.
Councilperson Morrissey?
Yes.
Palladino?
No.
Pratt? Yes. Sharp?
Yes.
7-1 approved.
All right, great job, Katie. We'll move into general public comment. During this time, the podium will be open. Please limit your comments to 30 minutes. Please limit your trips to one to the podium, and you may speak on whatever your heart so desires. The podium is now open.
Hello, I am Jeff Fazekas, and I have a beautiful comment. I was here earlier this spring about a nice $250,000 toy we have, and guess what? It's that time of year. The toy should be out, but it's not. We're using the loader again, so now we're at 3 out of 5 years that we've owned this, that we've used the loader. So we've spent $750,000 because it was more efficient, most likely, and the council thinks it's important to worry about. And yet we're not using it, and it's just sitting there being wasted. More of our taxpayer dollars down the drain. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Any more public comment?
Really quick, I don't think an empty field is a blight. It's actually kind of nice to look at. And we shouldn't commit to chip sealing this roads until all the roads in town are fixed up. And however many years it is, 10 years, you're going to be paying for that, while all roads are probably just the same shape they are in now. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Any more public comment? General public comment? You can say anything you want. Jack?
I just had a question. Are you gonna close the public hearing or not?
Oh, you got me, Jack. You got me tonight.
I didn't know if you had to before you
I
did
think the
vote.
effect of the vote on the subject matter closes the public hearing.
I just didn't know if you could vote with the public comment, or with the hearing still going on. I didn't know.
Yeah, you don't vote till after, you don't close the public hearing, I don't think, till after you vote, but I did forget to.
You can do it either way, but
Okay.
it's
I think that was a good job passing that. There's a lot of, I mean, that thing's been there, the economic development's owned it for 18 years. It's running, don't worry about it, I'm watching, I'm not gonna be here that long anyhow. It's just wasting my time here. Economic development's had it for 18 years now and haven't done anything with it. I mean, and it's not like you're giving them anything, they're actually giving the city. So if it goes another 18 years and you don't get any money out of it, but you get new roads at the end of that time, it's like the high rise. That company built that, gave it to the city. They had it for 30 years. What's the big deal?
There's a blight.
Wow.
Hi, Timothy Green again, Ward 3. Thanks for your conversation, for listening to the arguments, I appreciate it. I think there's a lot of giving away of responsibility and even like giving away of your own thought life to the experts and to the state. There's a lot of like hidden assumptions that I think, Gary, I'm sorry, but I think you tend to give away your willingness to think to like the statistics and the experts. There's a lot of caving to experts, and I think you guys should be cautious, very cautious about assuming that other people's numbers are correct. So I just wanted to say that to encourage you to be wary. I don't think you were wary tonight. For all of you who voted yes, thank you to everybody who voted no. It's hard to make a decision like that. I know that this was a big deal, so thank you to all of you who voted no. It means a lot. But okay.
Thank you, sir. Any more public comment?
Yeah, I'll echo that comment. You guys got sold something tonight by people who have profit on the line. They're not impartial experts either. They're not even pretending to be impartial experts. And you only listen to the testimony of people who flashed you a bunch of numbers on the screen, graphs you called out correctly that were BS. And you trusted that with the aid of a city employee, which was sort of shocking to me that, by the way, that they get to make a comment after the public gets to make a comment. You know, I resent the fact that we come here to watch the arguments and to make our voices heard, and you let the peasants talk, and then you get the city employee comes up here and gets to call people out afterwards as if the comment's over. That seemed wildly inappropriate. But it's really impressive to me how much deference and how much apology there is. Y'all's job is to protect this community and the city. You should make no apologies for asking hard questions. None. You should make no apologies for making sure you're grilling them carefully. That's the job of the council. And a corporation came in here and gave a bunch of numbers, and the citizens overwhelmingly in this meeting voted against it. And you guys trusted that like they were somehow impartial, which was really pathetic and shameful. But yeah, I echo that comment about, thanks to the conversation about it, I echo Adam's comment to Councilman Sharp about demanding a vote when it's maybe not the right time for the community because you want it. Well, you know, maybe it would have been better to sit and think about it a little bit and actually dive into the numbers that you got on Thursday and actually be hesitant about that and be showing some discipline in that regard. Because a corporation stood here and put a gun to your head and said, if you don't do it tonight, we're going to walk away. And you all got scared about wasting an empty field at the risk of destruction of the town, as some of you pointed out correctly. That's a real risk. It's a real risk in real communities. You think those corporations that sat there and said, oh no, we plan on bringing a bunch of immigrants in? No, no, no. They said the same things to those councils that these people said to you tonight, and you bought it. So I hope it doesn't come to the worst case scenario that a lot of Americans are seeing across the country right now, because that will be on your head. All of you who are on this council right now and voted yes.
Thank you, sir.
You were not here at the last meeting, were you, sir?
No,
That was a different attorney.
it's my partner.
Very good. Thank you. So the city manager brought up that he takes criticism for not living in the city. That's warranted because the city ordinance requires him to live in the city. The gentleman who sat here last week said that the McCarthy case says that he doesn't have to live in the city. Its residency requirements are unconstitutional. McCarthy versus Philadelphia Civil Service Commission, though, says, after 16 years of service, appellant's employment in the Philadelphia Fire Department was terminated because he moved his permanent residence from Philadelphia to New Jersey in contravention of municipal regulation, requiring employees of the city of Philadelphia to be residents of the city. He challenges the constitutionality of the regulation and the authorizing ordinances as violative of his federally protected right of interstate travel. The regulation was sustained by the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania, and review was denied by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. His timely appeal is here pursuant. The Supreme Court goes on to cite a Michigan Supreme Court case which held that residency requirements are not unconstitutional. And indeed, the Supreme Court of the United States says that this case involves the kind of bona fide continuing residence requirement. The judgment of the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania is therefore affirmed, which means, according to the United States Supreme Court, residency requirements are constitutional, and so it's fair for the citizens to question, when that's the rationale we've been given, why Mr. Mackey is allowed to continue his employment in violation of city ordinances. It's a fair question. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
If you'd like, Mr. Thompson can give you an opinion on that issue. He'll stand you know, I wasn't here at the meeting, but it's been 25 years in Michigan that those residency requirements could not be enforced against the city manager.
Okay.
And for 30 years, you had a city attorney who didn't live in the city. You have one now who does. But, you know, and perhaps there was a miscite of the case, but it's pretty well established that those requirements aren't enforceable. They're enforceable for elected city officials, but not for appointed or hired city administrators.
Okay, well maybe at the next council meeting, you guys can decide if you want to have Tom seek cost us money not to do it, correct? So it should be a
They'll
vote.
probably just be prepared without charge to tell you.
Okay, well, if it's without charge, then. Any more public comment?
I just want to follow up on that. You had a man come here who sells 800 homes a year. If you think that they won't jump at the first federal government subsidy to put whoever they want in this town, then you were sort of mistaken. And I hope it doesn't come to that. But again, everybody who voted yes, you should be prepared for that.
Thank you. Any more public comment? Okay, we'll close the podium. Dave, city manager report.
I'm going to pass, Mayor, because we're coming up on 10 o'clock.
We are coming up on 10 o'clock. Can I have a motion to extend the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion on the floor from Councilman Soha, seconded by Councilwoman Pratt to extend the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, just in case we go past 10. We'll move into council comment. He said he was gonna not do the city manager's report tonight.
Just one quick thing.
Sure.
I would have appreciated more time. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, Robert. Bruce?
I've been on this council since 2007, then I got off in 2011, and I got back on after Scott Sessions was elected mayor, and I've been on it since. I want to thank the people that trusted me for being their council representative. I've been the type of council person, if you call me, I'm going to come to your house and we're going to have a face-to-face conversation. I've also talked to all the city staff and department heads. I'm more than familiar. When I hear something, I do my research. I talk to people, I get the facts. I always believe in getting the facts before I stick my foot in my mouth and say something wrong. My wife, I want to thank her because she's been my steady guide through all this. She always reminds me, think about what you're going to say before you say it. Because once you say it, you can't take it back. And most generally, I've followed that. I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss people I've been around. We've had some good discussions, especially tonight. That I am a veteran too. I just want to make sure that gentleman knows that. I serve my country. I'm concerned with the growth of the city of Hillsdale. I don't want to see it stay stagnant. I'd like to see it grow a little bit, but not too much. We've got a lot in this community to offer, but we've got to work together as a council as to. My time is up, and you will not see me anymore doing politics. I might come up here once in a while just to scream at you guys, but that's not any different than anybody else. But I do thank you for the time, and I look forward to the retirement.
Thank you for your service, Bruce. It's been a long time up here with you.
And sweet.
Cindy?
My last one too. I know I haven't said much, but I sure have learned a lot. I'm not a politician.
You've done a great job, Cindy, without a doubt.
I've learned.
I just wanted to, apparently I said something last council meeting that some people took offense at, and it was directed towards Councilwoman Pratt. And if that's so, I'm going to revisit the video, but I apologize, it was an unintended slight, so I appreciate it. Well, I'd have to see the context of it, but I apologize, I've appreciated your service the whole time.
I accept your apology.
Thank you.
Councilman Beard?
This could be my last one because I'm in a contested race, but I just want to thank this council, city staff. I've enjoyed working with y'all. If my constituents want me to serve another 4 years, I'll gladly do it. And I just want to say in the future councils, I hope they can keep things moving in a good direction. And I thank everybody for all their past support.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you for your service. You've been an absolute pleasure to serve with as well. Anybody else? Councilman Palladino?
Did the brownfield go through economic, or community development, or just economic development?
Pretty sure just DEC.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's possible, but again, this not being reviewed by committee is extremely disturbing to me. We have 3-4 days to look at the numbers when we have full-time jobs. Just not enough time for a project of this scale. I had 40 questions written down and I got through about 20 of them. And I took more time than anyone here wants to spend. So we gotta get things going through committees. I don't even know if that's possible because of the EDC regulations in this case.
Thank you, Josh. Anybody else?
All right, I'll say it. Motion to adjourn.
No, hold on, I have a statement that I would like to make.
He was pointing at me.
I'm sure a lot of you guys know, my wife and I purchased a house outside of the city limits of Hillsdale. It wasn't something that we were trying to hide from people. We actually just closed on it less than a week ago, but since we were doxxed online, I was planning on making the statement anyways at this council meeting, so it's not something that I was forced into doing. Yeah, we bought it to move into, to be our primary residence. We're very excited about it. My wife and my children are absolutely in love with the place. But once we make the move out there, I will no longer be a city resident, so I will no longer be eligible to hold office in the city of Hillsdale. So I will tender my resignation. I'm not sure exactly when we're gonna move out there, but I will tender my resignation active January 1st, 2025. I think we will still be living in the city at that time, but just to give council the opportunity to be able to move on and plan for the future without having the mayor's seat on some sort of swivel head trying to figure out what's going on. I think that's probably the best move to make. It's been my absolute pleasure to serve as the mayor of the city of Hillsdale, and we love it very much, but this is a happy move for us. So, and it's not very often in a man's life that he gets to make a decision that makes his family happy. So, I jumped at it. It's a lovely place, but I appreciate you all, and like I said, it's been a distinct honor, and don't forget to go vote tomorrow.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion on the floor from Councilman Sharp, seconded by Councilwoman Pratt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Meeting's adjourned.